I treat stand-up like an anal scene. Like, I don't eat for like 12 hours.
The comedian got in an argument with the guy in the audience.
Right before I get on stage.
Yeah, right before he gets on stage.
First time performing in front of my girlfriend and Chris D'Elia.
Yes, yes.
What's the
Dude, worst I bombed was in Phoenix. I, for whatever reason, opened with some Trump joke, and it got nothing.
You're like,
Yeah.
Trump?
No, I switched it up. I was like, I love Trump. Don't clip that. But it's like me and my father, no talk. Just kidding. No, we're on good terms.
Dude, shut up. You're rooting it. You're
Dude,
telling all the good jokes.
You had that guy rolling when we got here.
Well, that's the behind the scenes. Here's
Dude.
Jessica with your beverages.
Dude, that is so much liquids.
Yep.
Are we on? Are we in?
We're about to. Is
No,
this one
get
rolling?
it going now.
Is this one rolling now?
We're set. We're set.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I am very excited about this episode. I am here with Trevor Wallace. Now, listen, I have seen this man perform live. So right off the rip, I know you know him from his skits. But if you do not know this man from his stand-up comedy, you are losing. This guy has so much energy, will take control of the crowd, work in his jokes like a little master. Actually, I'm gonna actually admit something to you. When I met you at the Laugh Factory, I was super nervous.
Really? Why?
It's because I knew that I'm coming from the social media realm, so
And I'm hotter in person. I
just
get it.
way hotter.
So you're coming from the social media realm.
And I
right?
saw you, and you were just like killing it. And you're the guy that's on social media. You're doing stand up, and you're conquering both worlds perfectly.
Thanks,
so
man.
I just didn't want to feel like I was like kind of intruding or just bothering. So like I was very high and by, and then I realized later I was like, man, that kind of came off rude, probably.
Not at all.
Okay, cool.
You were nervous. I was like, this fucking pussy over here.
I was like, that guy's rude.
no, dude. I mean, like, I think I've been doing both for so long that you only know somebody from what they come across you as. Like, most people know me as internet because it's easier to come across a viral video than it is to be like, oh, I saw you in Ventura doing a show for 30 people 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
So those moments, like, I don't take any offense to that. But I do feel like it's like this like fun little, I don't even know, like other side of me, and people like do watch me go up and do stand-up. And I'm not saying I'm this incredible stand-up, but I am saying this like, oh, people are like, oh, okay. Shit. All right. He takes this very seriously. Like he does this
Very seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is gonna come off like might sound disrespectful, but are you on drugs when you're on stage, or are you just like you just have this energy to you that's like?
No, but it's probably the thing I do is probably worse for my body than drugs. I don't eat before. Like I treat stand up like an anal scene. Like I don't eat for like 12 hours. No. I see. Yeah, not that I've ever done. No, I have friends that do adult entertainment. Speaking of the Valley, but like I would rather drink a Celsius on an empty stomach and then go up.
So you just take caffeine, no food, no nothing.
No, because food, like I've been on stage where like I remember like you feel these moments you'll never do it again. I was in San Diego, my friend's dad owned a barbecue place. He's like, come by, get some barbecue, and like you can like taste brisket when you're talking, like telling jokes, and you're like, this crowd is just staring at you like you're some slob up there. Like you can just smell the musky on you.
You just feel heavy and gross.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And then like
you performed at like 12 at night, bro. That was pretty late at night.
Oh yeah, dude.
So you just wait
brisket
the whole
doesn't
day?
leave, dude. It lingers. Barbecue lingers.
It's so funny.
I don't know what it is. It's just like it's like heavy food. So now I just like I won't drink. Usually I just have black coffee because carbonation can even like last second if I have like a Red Bull, you'll have like a little burp.
Yeah, I mean, super when you talk.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like coming back up, and then like this audience just drove 3 hours listening to you burp in a mic.
Yeah,
like, it's not. So I try to keep it pretty just iced coffee like that. But to answer your question, a lot of drugs. Yeah, a lot of drugs. No, it's just all. I mean, as corny as this is, I think I get the most rush from the live entertainment.
Yeah,
it's
laughter.
something else. It's something else, and
Yeah,
actually
dude, it locks you in.
I'm actually glad that I finally got to sit with somebody who does social media and does stand-up, because it's hard to explain to people, but I would rather pick a room of 200 people and be in the moment with them,
Of course,
than have a video that goes viral and I'm just reading comments, because the energy that you get when people get dressed to come and laugh, and like everybody in the room is on the same page of trying to have fun, and like,
well, it's alive. It's the dopamine hit is immediate. You tell a joke, and within milliseconds, you either get a response you love or hate. But with social media, it's this weird. I mean, you guys know it's like this like slow like refresh dopamine, but like no number. It's like money. No number will make you like. I remember the first time a video got 1 million views, I was like, fuck yeah! And I told one of my friends who also did social media, I was like, now what? And he's like, you just keep going. You know,
You're like, woo.
and like, so there's no number versus a new joke that lands in a crowd. That feeling is like the best feeling in the world. But no number, you're gonna be like, woo, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I like Mr. Beast looks at a video that has like 100 million and he goes, pretty light day today. Time to go solve world hunger. You know, like so the live response is really what I think. People always ask me, do I like stand up or sketches better? And it's like I like the creating of videos better and like seeing it come together from start to finish, but I love the feeling of stand up the most.
Do you know who Andrea Bocelli is?
Yeah.
Andrea Bocelli.
So for those of you guys that don't know who he is, he in the movie Step Brothers, Will Ferrell played.
This is not how you are.
Yeah.
What? This is how I know him.
Is this the end scene?
Yeah, where he sings that. I don't even know the lyrics to be honest. But he sings an opera song or like a very classical song, and he breaks the. It's the very ending of the movie, and it's a really good movie, so you should watch it. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I took a really long way to get there, but the reason why I brought
but he
this
also
up,
does stand up and social media.
Yes, exactly. So when I was watching him, he performed at the Hollywood Bowl, bro, and there was 18,000 people sitting there.
That's crazy.
And I'm looking at this sea
Pretty
of
low
people.
Numbers.
Okay, but this is what I'm bringing up, and I told this to Bell. I go, bro, 18,000 people in a stadium versus like if you see it in an IG story, it's different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That is true.
It's different. So like we look at if any of our videos did that number, we would probably be like, oh man.
I remember I was just telling this. I was with a few people at the Laugh Factory last night. Joe Coy, big name drop. But he was telling me that he's like, what the theaters he's doing this weekend. I'm not gonna plug his dates. He sells enough tickets. See me live. TrevorWallaceComedy.com. but he said something. Some arena had 13,000 in it, and I was like, dude, I remember. So I was on Vine for like a minute. I didn't have anything hit, but I remember I had 13,000 followers, and I remember I was sitting in the SAP arena in San Jose. I went to San Jose State up there, and I Googled the not population, but like capacity, and it was 13,000. I looked around. That was the first time I was like, yo, that many people followed, and it like blew my mind. 13,000. Now, if I posted a video that had 13,000, I would probably take my own life.
Yep,
and
kill yourself.
On the 405. Yeah. So, no, all jokes aside, but that's an insane number. But for whatever reason, I always think that if you posted a video and it gets 1 million views and you looked out your window and there's 1 million people being like, nice, then you'd understand.
Yeah.
That's the only time you'd understand what it feels like to have that many views. Other than that, it's just a number.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. And so like this whole thing was cool to watch his demographic. His demographic was so wild. It was like adults, a bunch of Persians. I've never seen so many Persians in my. It felt like a convention. And then some Italian people, and then kids.
What was the parking
our
lot
age,
looking like? How many BMWs?
A lot of BMWs. A lot of BMWs. A lot of red interior.
There we go. I almost had a BMW with red interior. It was between that and then
a Tesla.
Well, yeah, I have a Tesla now.
You do have a Tesla.
I do, yeah.
He looks like a guy who drives a Tesla, doesn't he?
Of course. Are you kidding me? Hands free so I can just swipe on TikTok? Dude, I'll never forget the first time like I drove past like this dude was like in a construction truck and I was like on my phone while the car was like driving itself. Flex. I have the free package. I'm not loaded, but this guy who was in a construction looks like triple takes because I'm just not staring at the wheel.
Not even paying attention.
And I'm just scrolling Venmo transactions. He's like, what the fuck is going on over here? But yeah, I almost got the red interior, but I was like, my first, yeah. Now I have white interior, much better. But I was thinking about like, imagine, I don't drink a lot, but I was like, my first thought was like, imagine, that's the biggest TV I've ever seen in the world. But imagine, get a shot of the TV. But imagine being hungover and seeing red interior. Like, what are we in Amsterdam? I do not want to see this early. Did you get the TV? That is how big is that TV?
I think it's 100.
What the
Yeah.
No, it's not.
80?
It's definitely 80.
It's 89. You round that up.
Bro, you have to get a U-Haul to get that thing home.
No, that's actually 100. I'm not kidding.
How did you get that home?
No, I don't know why they're saying it's not 100. I bought it. It's
I don't remember
100.
how you got that home.
I think it's 99.
I got it from Costco.
Oh, that's a big Costco. Everything's in bulk at Costco.
Yeah, dude.
Is the remote this big? Just an iPad?
Dude, I love that.
Actually...
None of you guys were with me when I bought it. They both looked me dead in my eyes and go, no, it's not. It's 80. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
So remember you come, yeah.
Oh, dude, your camera guy was doing this with it, trying to measure with his eye and shit.
Well, now I'm gonna go buy 100, so I could.
Yeah.
We don't have room.
Let's take it back a little bit.
Take it back now, y'all.
I want to know
One hop this time.
where did you come from, and then also when
My
did
dad. I love the valley because you can just hear guys with small dicks flying by.
Yeah.
That's actually my father right there. Where did I come from?
Do you have a relationship with your dad?
Yeah, we're great. He's like the nicest guy. He's the nicest guy. But like that's the thing. Like my family's so wholesome. Like my dad is retired. He like lives vicariously through me. He's the nicest man in the world. He's great. He'll like text me and be like, "Hey, this link for your ticket sale was wrong. You gotta put this and that." He's the nicest guy in the world. But like nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funnier if I'm like, "Yeah, my dad used to hit me," and they're like, "Yeah." He used to hit me with fucking hugs, dude.
My dad hit me.
Really?
But he loved me so much. But my dad didn't hit me too much. He just set standards so I could remember the last hit. And then I'm like, I don't want that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Set the
Muscle
standard.
memory.
Yup.
Literally, muscle memory, dude.
So wait, where are you from? You're from LA?
Kind of. I was born in Illinois for like 2 years and then grew up in
Chi-town.
Really? Naperville. The Ville.
Skokie?
Skokie.
Skokie.
I love how you looked to somebody else. Skokie?
I just said like different names, like Illinois, Skokie.
Oh, dude. I mean, whenever I hear anybody say anything about Illinois, I'm just like, fuck, Naperville? I was there for 2 years, but grew up all in Southern California, like Ventura County.
When'd you move away?
From Illinois? 2. I was like,
I was 4.
I got to get away from this family, dude.
Yeah.
It's packed up, dude.
It's my time.
Yeah, I'm done here, dude. We're done breastfeeding. Get me out of here, bro. Yeah, then all grew up in Ventura County, so like an hour from here, hour from LA. So
What made you get into comedy?
I don't know. I just like always loved it. Like I don't even know. I just only ever watched comedy movies growing up, just like Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams. That's like all I cared about. And like my friends would be watching like football movies, and I was like, oh, this does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Did you play any sports?
Tried.
Can I guess what kind of sport?
Please.
Lacrosse.
No, but thank you.
I could see that. I could see that. Oh, water polo.
No, but
That's a
again,
very
thank
specific,
you.
like,
Thank you.
it's
These are
track.
great.
I-
Wait, hold on,
I
hold
thought
on.
you were gonna be like Quidditch or some dumb shit.
Mini golf.
Disc, something with a disc.
See, this is the part where
Frisbee,
it gets,
frisbee.
this is when it starts to get disrespectful. You know,
What,
because
wait,
you're
what
just
is that
getting
called?
wider and wider sports.
I mean,
I played the OG sports. I just wasn't good at it. Like basketball, soccer, football. Pretty sure I scored on my own goal once.
I'm really good at basketball, but like
Really?
very good at basketball.
Like 2K or real life?
Real life.
Okay.
I don't play
what's 2K?
2K is a video game.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Well.
You guys don't have a TV or anything for it.
Hello, guys. I'm George.
And I'm Albert.
That's my cousin Albert. We just did a podcast together, and I truly wanted to put this on YouTube, but then was kindly reminded by everybody on my team that could absolutely not go on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch an episode where I dive into my past with Alberty, please go to my Patreon. And also, do me a favor. Don't share this with anybody. Okay?
But tell them to look at it on Patreon.
Yeah,
Tell them
watch it on Patreon.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, if you're not a Patreon goer, just sign up to watch this episode and then just unsign up because I think it's going to be good enough for it. But
I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was pretty funny too.
I enjoy it.
I just legally can't put it out there. Okay, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Do you want to tell people why you're wearing glasses or no?
Is this an ad? Is this an ad read?
Yeah.
No. I've had really bad
It's
hay
more
fever.
like an aid read.
Hay fever.
I have really bad allergies. So
Wait, what is hay fever?
it's when you get really bad seasonal allergies from pollen, it turns into hay fever. And this all started in Arizona. So it's been about 2 weeks. Usually like I grew up like having like allergies to like dust mites, and I used to have asthma, things like that. So I guess I'm
Yeah.
sensitive to those things, but usually during the seasons I'm okay. And I don't know, this year in Arizona, it hit me so bad. I woke up and my eyes were just swollen and red. Like they're just like completely
No, babe.
red and raw.
I'm so sorry about
Yeah, let's get her some sunglasses. This is getting disrespectful.
Christ.
I thought she was high over here. I was like,
Ice.
who's high and drinking a Celsius? What, are you trying to level out? Just be a normal human? Is this show sponsored by Celsius?
It is.
I was
It
going to
is.
say, there's a lot of product placement. I was like, why do I have a can and a mason jar?
Well, yeah, Jessica, what the hell is the reason for that? Why did you take it out the can?
Optics.
I didn't think it was cold enough. I mean, it's
You can't fire family.
Yeah.
Can't.
Can't.
Well, you can.
My mom and
You just
dad
got to go
won't
to the
let
court of law to do it.
me. My mom and dad's like, if she goes, you go. I go, what? Where am I going to go? Death. You don't
Damn.
live.
But anyways, I'm not a diva. I just my eyes are raw. So that's why I'm wearing
I didn't think you were a
glasses.
diva at all.
And it comes with a nice neck rash, So I'm trying to heal it.
Hay fever. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was a thing.
You ever go to Arizona?
It's been pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I love Arizona. I'm doing shows out there. Tempe Improv, July 6th through 8th. It's gonna be awesome.
I'd love to come.
Oh wow.
Please, wait, where
We
do you
live there.
You live there, but here?
We go back and forth.
What the fuck?
Shout out Celsius.
Yeah, there you go. But like everyone, usually people like bi-coastal, like LA to New York. We're like LA to Arizona. I'm like, that's a 27-minute flight. Yeah, we're bi-statal,
It's I love living next to my mom and dad. I'm like a super family oriented person.
Here or there?
There.
In Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I come here,
Okay.
I work a little bit, and then I leave. I spend time with my family. Do a lot of work out there too.
You are a good man.
Thank you, man.
Both of you. Not good man, good woman.
I'm a good man too.
Good man. You got hay fever. You got family.
Yep.
That's great.
You know
no
everything
wonder
you
your
need to
fish
know.
is dead in the corner.
He's
trapped.
sleeping. He just sleeps on the ground.
Bro, that was a beta fish. Usually beta fish are ready to swing. That dude is tired. That dude has been listening to the call map. Not a plug. He is tired.
But I'm so sorry. I feel like you're good at podcast. You just made it all about us. But I
because
want to redirect this back
dude,
to you.
I don't want to talk about myself for an hour. That's boring. I want to just have conversations,
Okay, I like that. I
want
appreciate
both.
that.
But if you ask questions, I'm gonna ask a question back because I don't want to just be like, this is about me. You know?
Fair enough.
It is.
I got one question now.
Please. Yeah, it's just a conversation.
Are you in a relationship at all?
I was for a little bit, couple of years, but I'm not right now.
And how do you feel? Like, do you like being single in this industry, or do you?
I think it's a grass is always greener thing. I do miss a lot of elements of the relationship, but it is also nice when you're like, you're leaving the Laugh Factory at 2 a.m. and you're like, didn't check in with anybody. Like I'm just kind of like I'm only just focusing on what I need to do in that moment, whether it's that day or whatever it was. But it's like I always say, like, during the work week, I don't really think about it. I'm just like, I literally wake up, work, and just that until day, video stuff, writing, night is stand up. And then it's like it doesn't hit you until like Saturday at 2 p.m. when you're like, what I got nobody with me.
Yeah.
I got nobody to go to the farmer's market with. So it's like moments like that where it's like you can work all your life, but there is like it's inevitable that you're gonna like miss that companionship at points that'll like get through the cracks,
100%.
Yeah,
How old are you?
30.
Oh, same. When's your birthday?
December 30th.
January
33rd.
3rd. So we're pretty. Are you Capricorn?
Capricorn.
Dude, I knew you were cute.
Yeah, thank you, dude. And when was yours?
I'm 24 and my birthday is July 31st.
Sagittarius.
I'm a Leo.
I was just guessing.
Sagittarius.
I would have judged you more if you got it right. Than
right. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still in good faith with my ex. Like, there's no beef. Like, we're like, her brother is my editor and like videographer.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, messy breakup, but no, but only because he is my videographer and editor. I see him like daily.
Right.
So,
was
like-
he ever like, hey, bro? Like, did he ever get in between there, or did you guys
it
ever
was
talk
never-
about
no.
it?
And I think that's why our work relationship was so beneficial. It's just like we get together, we work, we're like just best friends. We just work together. The first like 2 weeks after the break, it was like a little weird because I
Yeah,
was like
of
pitching
course.
ideas to him. I was like, "What about your newly single friend?" He's like, "Okay," and I'm just like, just all these ideas. Heartbreak be like, and then he's like, "Yeah, man, where did you get this inspiration for?" But I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'll go on some dates here and there, but.
Well, it's really cool. You guys were able to keep things cool, and you're still
Yeah.
able to work with him. And you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
she's
'Cause-
great. Like I wish I had like beef with her. I don't. She's a great human.
Yeah, dude. Talking about beef, can I just have you watched the show Beef?
Great.
I haven't.
parlay.
I have not. Is it good?
It is so good, and the lead in it
Great
is
cast.
the comedian. Her name
Ali
is
Wong.
Yes,
She's awesome.
She's phenomenal. I think she's
Is she
absolutely
the pregnant stand-up?
Yeah, she's always
Yeah,
pregnant
yeah,
when
yeah.
she does her stand-up specials.
Is she actually pregnant?
No. Well, at the time when she was
Yeah,
Fake.
yeah, she was. Yeah.
No, I didn't know if it was like a bit. I didn't watch it. so.
That is crazy. You like have to like the special's got to be locked in for that day. You
Yeah,
know?
it must
You're
have
like,
just
I have
fallen.
a small window. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, she is so talented and she's hilarious. And the show is, I just think the show is absolutely brilliant. Like, it's funny without trying to be funny. It's telling a story.
She's just real.
Yeah.
She's great. She's really good.
There's a comedy club that I go to on Monday. It's not a comedy club. It's a bar in Manhattan Beach, one of the beaches.
What is it called?
Ponchos.
I think I've been
Oh, yeah.
But Allie goes there just unannounced a lot of random times.
I'm gonna start going there just unannounced. Then I want to see her.
But I saw her go, and it's great because it's like it's a very loyal fan base that goes to this bar. It's like they're just the regulars. So she's been going there before she even popped or like blew up. And I hope this doesn't like out her or whatever. But she works out a bunch of material there, and I saw her like right after her divorce going up, and it was like the realest stuff, and it was funny, but it was just so real and raw. And in that moment, they were so funny, but it wasn't like a joke structure, like a setup and then a punchline. It was just like, I forget what it was. She was talking about like we can't date if you like want if you have to check the price on the eggs Benedict. Like she was just like pretty much just like yelling about the whole relationship and random things. But I'm butchering it all. But so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just cool to see her in like a room with like 30 people.
Yeah.
Who do you look up to in the space? Like who do you like try to marry? Like you mentioned Joe Coy. Joe Coy is the one who kind of like mentored me in the beginning.
Yeah, who do I look up to? I think there's I mean, I love like guys like Tim Dillon is so funny, Theo Vaughn, you know, those Chappelle. I remember watching Chappelle's early stuff, like Killing Him Softly, and I believe it's called For What It's Worth. I know. Don't come at me. I'm not good with my brain. But I remember watching. I remember watching those 30-minute specials and being like, "Holy shit, this is just so packed." And he just covers so much in 30 minutes. It's like unreal. Just a lot of guys like that really looked up to.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any type of so you brought up Ali Wong and she comes on stage after her divorce. There's a lot of comedians that bring up trauma. Is there anything that you like? What is your like muse? What's your interest?
No, I think I another comedian I love is Nick Swartzen, and I think I might
comedian.
I just love his style because it's not, you don't think about anything political. You don't think about anything like this is what America needs to be. It's just like fun bro comedy. And I think that's kind of what I go for in my life and on stage and in videos. I just want somebody to leave there like, that was a good time. I laughed. I wasn't thinking about my job I hate. I wasn't thinking about my divorce, whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
he's just it's just a funny, like, he doesn't really talk about trauma, and everybody has their own, but he never talks about it. It's just like, I want to take people out of whatever their trauma might be and give them an hour of just fun, playful stuff.
I noticed that you're really good at crowd working. Do you set yourself up with that or like?
Yeah, I practice. I go to like a Macy's, and if somebody's shopping, I'm like, yeah, what do you do for a living? And then they're like, I'm an attorney. I'm like, you fucking idiot. No, I don't even know. I never like saw myself as like a crowd work guy.
Really?
No. What? No, I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I just think what helped was doing improv classes early on in LA, because you just trust the funny. You just trust that something you say, if it's genuine and you're in the moment.
You do groundlings or you?
Yeah, groundlings. Yeah,
I did groundlings too.
Yeah, it was great stuff. So I think that just allowed me to like trust whatever I say like will either be true or funny, and like not to be scared to explore it. So if some guy says something weird and I respond something and that doesn't hit, I'm like, okay, well, what's a different angle? And like, then I don't know. It's the weirdest thing, because I think if it can't be too early on in the set. Like if I right as I walk out and somebody's like banana pudding, I'm like, what the fuck? But it's when you're in like the middle of the set and like all the gears are turning and you're like just on
You're
one.
on it, yeah.
Yeah, you're locked in. Then somebody yells something, then you're like, and you can get on it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of like I'll explore it.
Are you using stand up to gateway into like movies and TV shows, or is like
I'm like open to it. It's not like I wake up every morning and I'm like, Hollywood, pick me, you know?
I think we don't need it anymore, right?
No.
Social media is kind of like your own audience. And I actually was talking about this to somebody else yesterday. I think it's really cool, the situation that the internet came to, where now it eliminated a lot of bosses that you had to kind of like, you know, like,
course.
you gotta do it this way, or you can't do it this way. Don't talk about this. Don't. You have your own audience. It's who you are.
The best thing is your connection to your audience and how easy it is to get to them.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no middle ground. It's me posting on my story. I'm gonna be in Tempe this date, and then the people who follow me go, oh, nice. Like there's no. It's just A to B, just like you guys to Phoenix, just A to B, just boom, boom, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I just think it's you are your own TV show in some sense. You're your own network if you think about it that way. You know, you have your own posting schedule, whatever you want to do. This podcast is its own channel, literally. So it's like I just want to be able to give access to anybody at any point in time, you know?
I love that.
So really just that. But like if a movie role comes up, great. I mean, like a lot of people, I think comedians are in a cool spot because a lot of times we'll get called for like a quick cameo in a movie.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we need you for 2 shoot days. You're just like the brother's cousin, whatever it is. Then you pop in, you do a day, and you just have fun. And it's like a cool little like, oh shit, was that so-and-so? Oh, damn, I didn't know they were in this. Like, I think it's more so just like a fun little like, just slowly integrate yourself out there type of thing.
Yeah, I think you'd be great like in a show, or like I could totally see popping in on like and being that kind of like comedy relief. And,
You play a perfect bro.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, I've auditioned for everything, every role you can imagine, and for whatever reason, they're just like, you know, again, they're just I'm too hot, I think, for TV, but
It takes a million auditions.
So you were doing stand up for a little bit. Why you do more? You're not, because I was talking to Enrique last night, and he's trying to get you on these stages some more. What's going on? You're too bistatal?
I am okay, so I had a lot of things moving, and I was on another show, Impulsive, at the time.
Never heard of it.
It was supposedly the #1 podcast in the world.
No, I did an episode years and years ago on there.
I wasn't on that one.
No, it was when Spencer was on there.
Yeah, I think I watched it. I didn't watch it.
You don't. Oh, come on, man.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
We can pull it up now. We just live watch it.
Watch it right now.
On the big screen.
Just for an hour and a half. Yeah, just director's notes. Tap your knee. I'm like, that's Logan.
And so I had a lot of things going on, and so I needed to kind of like prioritize my life and like give it a little bit more structure, and then I could free up my time and then jump on there because it's work. You have to go up there every day and like practice. I went up there and I got really comfortable on stage.
That's great. I mean, that's like the hardest thing.
Yeah, I came from performing in front of so many cameras, doing live performances, doing all that stuff. So it's like the performing for me, it wasn't a nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah.
So I skipped past that, and I heard through other comedians that that's like the hardest part.
I would say so.
Yeah. So I got blessed.
One thing that stuck with me is like, if somebody's nervous on stage, like if they don't trust themselves up there, why would an audience trust them? And that always stuck with me. Like if you're doing a new joke, you have to do it with 100% confidence that you've been doing that joke for years. Because if you're nervous on a joke, they're going to be nervous on a joke. They're just replicating your energy. So if you're up there like mumbling your words and stuttering, you're like, how you guys doing tonight? Like they're gonna be like, what? I don't trust this guy. Unless that's your cadence and that's your like style.
Yeah, that's your thing. Yeah.
But it's like if you're nervous, then they're gonna be nervous. You know?
Yeah. No, 100%. It's like as soon as you show uncomfortability, you're making the other person uncomfortable. So they're like, oh, they must not be good. You're like showing what they should think. Yeah.
So the thing that you were just saying about being comfortable on stage is like the biggest thing, because oh, dude, he looks like he's been doing this forever. He's a natural. You know, that type of. You trust somebody who's having fun up there. That's something Joe Coy said to me last night, because he watched my set and he's like, yeah, man, like you were just like hammering through your punchlines, just trying to like, and there was like 40 people. It was a small crowd. He's like, dude, like those are the nights you sit in it, have fun with it. Like, you know where the comedy is, but this is when you try those extra layers of that joke that you've been sitting on, you never wanted to do. But in my head, every time I want to kill, I want to be like, fucking, this is the best show of my life. But he was like, dude, slow down, sit in it, have fun. And I watched him, and he's just genuinely having fun up there.
I've never seen somebody control a crowd like him.
Yeah, because
he's insane.
He's like, when you're doing the arenas and the theaters, not that I do arenas, but he's just talking from his own experience. He's like, when you're doing those, that's when you like get out there and machine gun and you're like, just jokes everywhere. But that's when you kind of sit in it and kind of like, you know where the funny is. You can always get back to it. You know,
it's crazy you say when he does a stadium, because I've watched him perform at like a comedy show where it's like 200-300 people, and then in front of like 15,000 people.
Yeah, and
he will bend the crowd to his will, and it's insane, bro. Like there's a gift that God gave him that I can't even explain. I would watch him every hour to like measure his timing, where he does his callbacks, where he's getting his inspiration when it comes to crowd work, and I'm just studying him. Every time it's different. Yeah. He like is in the moment, whatever he's feeling. Now the whole entire world in front of him will feel it. And I understand the note he gave you because he's given it to me as well.
Yeah.
And I would watch.
Oh, so he's not authentic. What the fuck?
No, probably because I was powering through mine as
I
well.
lean over and he's giving it to the valet guy. He's like, you got to slow down. You got to be in the moment. Don't run to the car, man. Walk to the car. Yeah, he's a guy that I would love to see his stadium hour, just because it's like, I would love to see the duality of like doing 20 minutes at the Laugh Factory, calm, talking to people. Like he had like everybody just engaged. But then when he does an arena, he's still engaged.
But he does the same thing. He makes like a really big stadium small because
Yeah.
he's so comfortably
That's-
confident.
He talks to them. He like
Yeah.
like if you get up to like go get a drink, he'll take your drink and
Are we
and
plugging
drink it on
Celsius right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. No, he's just like he does a really good job of making it feel like that's my friend up there. We're in his living room, but you're really at like at some arena in Nashville or something.
Yeah,
Kind
exactly.
of wild.
You got any
when did you actually? I'm so sorry. When did you go on tour?
My first tour I think I went on was 2018, 2019.
When did you know you were ready to go on a tour?
I wasn't ready, but I was like, there's only one way to find out.
And you just jumped into
Yeah,
it?
it's kind of like,
Were you scared of not selling tickets?
of course. And the first tour I didn't sell out.
How long were you rehearsing like on stage before you went on tour?
I mean, I'd been doing like I've been doing stand-up for like 10 years, so there'd be a lot of times where like I'd just been doing open mics, but I maybe had like 20 or 30, 20, 25 minutes of material. And then I remember I did it because my friend told me, he's like, dude, you could just quit your job, book a one-nighter on your own, just like a one-night show. That'll pay your rent, and you don't have to work at your job anymore. And so I just kind of sent out a bunch of like cold emails to like, there was a place in Chicago, San Diego, North Carolina, I believe. And then all three of them got back to me. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you like a Monday at like 8 p.m. Right.
Wow.
And then I think the first show I ever headlined was San Diego, and I think it sold like 150 tickets, and it sat 300. But to me, I'm like, dude,
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, but 150 people. But I remember I didn't have the time yet. But I was like, well, now I have to have. I'm a big like deadline guy, So like for me, I was like, let me just keep working towards it. I knew I didn't have the time because in my set list in the middle, I wrote crowd work. Just on the set list, like, all right, and what do you do for a living? So I knew I didn't have the time, but you have to challenge yourself to be like, I'll figure it out.
Yep. Okay, so I've realized this. I put myself in pressured moments. I know when my back's up against the wall, I'll perform way better. So I realize that if I get too comfortable, comfortability is the death of anything I'm working on.
Of course.
So I agree with what you're saying. Put a time and then you're like, okay, I have to get there.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just kind of like, you do it, you live and you learn, you laugh, live, laugh, love. But you experience it and you're like, oh, I did it. Okay, cool. Now what? And then, I look back on that hour that I did back then. I'm sure it's on video somewhere. And I'm like, God, what the hell was that? But then I'm going to San Diego in a couple months, and it's like, there might be a handful of people that were at that show. Like, dude, we've just seen the progression, and you're just steady kind of working on it. So
I love that. Do you ever bomb? Like, what's the worst?
course.
What's the
dude,
worst?
I bombed was in Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, this was probably it wasn't my crowd. So what happened, this was maybe like 2017. I had my own headlining shows Wednesday, Thursday. And they sold okay. Not both of them didn't sell out. If it was one show, it might have. But it was at the House of Comedy out there. It's in North Phoenix. Phoenix is too big also. Can we talk about it's too big.
Phoenix is
It's massive. They're like, oh, Scottsdale to here, 45 minutes. No. No. This is a desert town. 12 minutes max. But so I did my two shows Wednesday, Thursday, and then I asked the club because I just wanted more stage time. I was like, can I stay for the weekend and open for the headlining act, who was Mo Mandel. Very fun if you ever see him. So I stayed, right? And now I forget it's North Phoenix. Older Republicans, right? So I, for whatever reason, opened with some Trump joke and it got nothing. I don't even do political material, but for whatever reason, I was like, it was like doing fun on my show. It was doing well. So I'm gonna fucking, you get that new bit excitement where you're like, I'm gonna just throw it at him. Nothing. And I go, oh shit. I start sweating.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. I'm pulling out my closer immediately. The closer doesn't work. And I'm supposed to do 20 minutes. I'm like 7 in, and I've maybe gotten a laugh or a sneeze at this point. Like, I don't know. And what broke the ice is there was a guy in the front row with a fedora, and I was like, well, at least fucking fedora guy likes me. And then like that cracked the room. And I finally was able to get back. But like, dude, there was 10 minutes. Somebody wrote to me on Facebook the next day, and they're like, I don't think you're meant for comedy. And
Oh my gosh.
old lady, her profile photo had 19 chins in it, you know, the low angle shit. But she like literally like
She Facebooked you, bro.
Directly.
Imagine
I got
how
live
much
yelped.
on the way home she complained about you. For her to go home, open up her laptop, and be like, "What the fuck was his
Remember
name?"
her password, say she's not a human. Ellen,
a
what is
robot?
my password? But it's like I got feedback I didn't ask for. This is my this was my Facebook page. It's not Yelp. She just found me. It was like, and my opinions.
By the way,
God, so
But go to North Phoenix. It's older white ladies, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it. And also I bombed that night. 100%. Like I deserved that message. Did it feel great? No. But the next night you go, okay, maybe let's not open with that. And then it's just trial and error.
You're like
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, no, I switched it up. I was like, I love Trump. Don't clip that. But
Clip that.
no, boys. But the next show, I flipped it up and then put that later in the set, and it was fine.
yeah.
But had I not, comedy is the best ego check because it's like you'll have the best show in the world, and then I literally in the back of my head go, oh, this next show is probably gonna suck.
Well, it really depends. I mean, it's hard because it depends on your audience, right? Like,
Yeah.
if it's your show and people are coming for you, that's your audience. But
Right.
if, you're doing a show for a different comedian, it's a completely different demographic, then you're like, oh, everybody's humor is a little different.
Right. But if it was too easy and every show you killed, what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I think there's even shows to this day where it's like the people that come out to support me, I love wholeheartedly, but sometimes there is people in the show who are just too drunk. It's like, it's usually the late shows, and it'll be like 11 o'clock at night, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're just hammered.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to yell out the alphabet in the middle of a set. And you're like, A through Z, and then A's, and then you're like, what am I? And then, like, so that might make it a bad, these people, like 98% of the people, they're like, just act normal. There's 2% that are fucking hammered, and that might make it, quote, a bad show, So like a bad show when it's not my crowd, it just might not be funny to that older audience or whatever it is. But when it is my crowd, it's like the whole crowd is there for me, and we're all reciprocating, but there's like a small fraction of the people that are just like drunk that might like ruin it, or a lot of times I get messages after, they'll be like, show was great, but if I was sitting next to the so-and-so guy or this girl, and it's just,
Yeah.
So that's like a bad show to me.
I'm not gonna mention who it was, but there's a few comedians I would go and watch, and there's some certain comedians that do not accept like chatter at them.
Oh, I know many of them.
Oh, there was one. It wasn't Seinfeld like known for that. Like he would not like if somebody says something, he'll like pause and then like he'll restart his joke or something like that.
No, I think you're thinking of the video when he kind of went like a little nuts on stage and he was like yelling at everybody.
Nope,
You know what I'm
that's not
talking-
Seinfeld. That's his. That's Kramer. You're thinking about.
Well, Kramer did something much worse.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's not what
I
was
thought for some
talking
reason when you
about.
said Seinfeld, you said that's who I thought of.
No, I just know that there's some comedians that just won't. They won't play that.
Dude, I mean, it's distracting. It's you're so like locked in up there, and the only thing that it's very bizarre because the only thing that doesn't disrupt your brain is the laughter. But then the second somebody does something out of that's not laughter, they spill a drink, they yell something out,
Yeah.
it can throw you off.
Yeah.
Even if there's just like a chatty couple in front.
Yeah.
That always blows my mind when somebody's in the front
That's
row.
crazy
and they're
to me.
full blown conversation.
That is the most disrespectful thing. To do it in a movie is one thing, right? But like somebody's out on stage.
I just don't think.
And you're so
giving
close.
their heart.
That's what I think. I'm like, how do they not think that I can't hear them?
Yeah, when you say in the front row, it's almost you feel so like I don't
But
know, you're so close.
What sucks is only you can prevent forest fires. No, only you can hear it. Because that,
You have ADHD, don't you?
I don't know what I have. but if you call it out, the people in the back of the room are like, I don't know they were talking.
Yeah,
So now
yeah.
you look like an insane person. If you're like,
Yep.
hey, would you guys mind not talking? And then everyone's like, what? Like that is also weird. Like
Yeah.
there are moments where you have to be like a stage hand and also a comedian. You're like, hey, can you guys actually quiet down? It's really distracting up here. And then the whole room's like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah.
You know,
And if they didn't hear it, then
it was just awkward. Then you gotta like, get back into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Why don't you? Do you
Remember-
ever do it in like a funny way? Like, hey, shut the fuck up, or like something.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah,
I just punch him straight in the face.
no. I'll just be like, are you guys doing a fucking podcast down there? What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What you
Something
saying?
funny.
You're saying
Remember
remember?
that one time we were at the Laugh Factory and somebody was doing a show. I can't remember who was on stage, but there was a couple, and I'm not gonna say who the couple was, but there was a couple in the audience, and I don't know if he yelled something or he like yelled something at the guy. So
Yeah.
they end up getting in an argument. The comedian got in an argument with the guy in the audience.
Right before I get on stage, by the way.
Yeah, right before he gets
really?
on stage.
First time performing in front of my girlfriend and Chris D'Elia.
Yes. And
It
so,
was about homelessness. I remember it.
oh really?
And I-
They
do
were
you know
like,
who?
that's not funny.
Do you know
Who the comedian was?
It was,
It was
one of
Jeff.
your-
It was
yeah, Jeff.
Oh, it was Jeff.
Jeff
Yeah.
who? Jeff
I'll tell the
died?
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell the story because it
Just
haunts
funny.
it haunts me. I'm literally sweating because Enrique texts Chris and he's like, "Yo, George is about to go on. Come and watch him." And so he calls his
yeah.
friends, and so all these people came to watch me. And this was the only time I was going to perform for the first time in front of my girlfriend. So now I'm looking at the guys that I look up to.
And how long have you guys been dating at this point?
4 years, like 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so she wouldn't leave you after a bad performance.
No,
Like-
no, no.
Like, if it was like 3
Two-
weeks,
two,
then
three
it goes. yeah.
He'd been going on stage for like maybe 3 months, but he just didn't want me to see him yet.
Of course, dude.
And then,
It's-
Thank you.
It's nerve wracking.
Yeah, I don't care what the audience thinks. I care what you think. You see me naked.
Right.
And so
Well, then it's just an awkward car ride home if it like doesn't go well, and she's like patting your like leg, like
No.
you can do your set for me. You're funny to me, you know.
I'll laugh.
Yeah, right, exactly. I laughed, you know. So
at the end of his bit, like right before I got on stage, they just get in a tiff and then they escort this guy out.
Like leave. He like gets up and he's like, oh, like and
Yeah,
gets up and
yeah.
like leaves mad. He's like, come on, get up. Like his girlfriend, like, and they walk out. Like,
And
Yeah.
so the next day I'm at a party, and so I see this guy and I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. And the girl next to me is like, yeah, that's the guy who sings, "I'm so tired of love, so tired of love." What's his name?
you're gonna say who it is? Love.
Love.
You're gonna say who it is. I wasn't gonna say who it is.
Anyway, so I go up. You just ruined it. You got right to the bit.
he's the guy that got kicked out. He was homeless. Who's the guy? What's happening?
Just
She
keep
spoiled
telling
it.
me.
Her
She
and
spoiled
Jessica's been doing this thing where I'm setting something up and like, yeah, it's the guy from the song. I was like, dude, just look at your mom. Your mom in the background, she's like, what? Let her do that. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, it was him. So I walked up to him and I told him that I'm a stand-up, and he's like, oh, actually, I just went to a stand-up show yesterday. And I was like, oh, cool. Where'd you go? And he's like, the Laugh Factory. I got kicked out. And I was like, wait a second. I go, dude, were you hackling Jeff? And he goes, yeah. He was like talking about homeless. I'm like, bro, motherfucker, you did that right before I went on stage for the first time. And so the first time we met, see how much cooler that story would have been if you fucking didn't.
No,
go.
I liked it. It was like an M. Night Shyamalan thing. Like you get to the end and then come back around, you know?
I'm just shocked that you're like saying who it was. 'cause
What's
I
a
don't know.
funny story? I'm not
Yeah, I mean,
gonna get mad.
it's not like anybody's gonna go DM him and be like, "You ruined Jeff.
Yeah.
You ruined Jeff's set." I think stand-up comedy is like the show Chopped, where it's like, hey, there's 7 normal things, but here's a wrench in it, you know? It's like, hey, it's a normal crowd, but also there's gonna be a guy who looks like a pirate in the front row. Have fun, you know? So it's like those little, and it's what you want to do with it, you know? But how did your set go that night?
I did well.
Yeah, he did
Okay.
a
Oh, you guys still
phenomenal
together,
job.
so that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
I worked it into it. So I started out by joking about that. So it actually helped
Of course. Well, you're smart.
Yeah.
You address it, right? Because that's something, I mean, that's nothing makes you want to like work harder and be funnier than when the guy ahead of you is like crushing.
me. Really?
Of course.
I'd rather him bomb and then I go on stage.
Yes and no.
Really?
Yeah, because
Could you put the AC on? I'm like sweating like crazy.
Because if that guy bombs, well, no. If somebody bombs, I think you can. My instinct is to be like, get out there and get a laugh as quick as possible, just so you can be like, I'm not that guy, you know, right? You know, because you want to just. I mean, that's an audience judges you the second you walk up there before you even said a word. They look at your outfit, they look at you, they go, I don't know this guy, I don't know her, what's going on? So my goal always is to get a laugh like as quick as possible.
Do you feel like if the person before you killed it, it's better because then like the audience is in a better mood and they're already laughing and ready to laugh more?
I think so, yes, but sometimes if there's a perfect amount, sometimes they drain the room out because they're like, they just went 30 minutes just like Tony Rock. Have you ever seen him go up? holy fuck, so funny.
No, but I saw Theo Von do that to somebody.
Yeah, dude, it happens all the time. And that's why when you're sitting in the
You
back,
set the standard way too high, and then your shit jokes coming in. You're like, fuck.
well, it's not even that. It's just like the audience has a battery life of laughter. And then if you watch somebody kill for 30 minutes, they're tired. Like they're exhausted. And they're like, after they get off, they're like, ah. And then you go up there and they're like, we gave everything to the guy before you. Now it's not always true, and you can still, or you can ride that wave. I've gone up after some of the biggest names, and I've either done fine or I've done like, dude, they've teed it up perfect, and then you ride that wave. And so it really just depends. I mean, it's common sense. If somebody does like an hour before you,
Did you ever have any? You don't have to mention who it would be, but did you ever have any beef with a stand-up where it gets awkward when you show up to a place and you're like, oh, he's here, like fuck, like I don't have
no.
Really?
I don't think so.
Because I always thought about that. Like the workplace is so uncomfortable when you like don't like the person.
Comedy's too in their head. I think people are more so jealous than they are.
No, that's what I'm thinking about. Though
It's more so jealous than it is beef. Like
but
you wouldn't.
jealousy starts off beef because then they start gossiping and talking shit, and then you know about it.
Yes and no. It's a lot of like salty people. Like you'll just like kind of talk like, why did she get that? Why did he get that? Why didn't I get that? You know, a lot of that. But like once your head's thinking like that, it's not a great place to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good mindset that you have.
No, I still get jealous. Are you kidding me? Like it's inevitable. Like you'll tell yourself, you're like, dude, I'm not a jealous guy, and then you're looking up another comedian's ticket sales. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Really?
Like, of course, dude. Everybody does that.
I truly don't. I've
Really?
always been in my lane, bro. It's as cheesy as it sounds, bro. It's like whatever I got is me and God. We have this like path, and whatever is my time, and I celebrate everybody else's wins.
Have you always been this way, or did it work
Since I was a kid.
Really?
Since I was a kid. But also, I was heavily bullied, bro. Like heavily bullied.
Yeah.
So I understood people's point of views a little bit because I went through a lot more than somebody that didn't get bullied or didn't see other people's point of views. So I was really good at seeing, like, so if it's, for example, we'll do the ticket sales. If somebody like Chris D'Elia, right? Me and him or if I was at his level and me and him were doing ticket sales and he's doing more, in my mind, my first thought is maybe God wants to bless him more financially because he has to deal with something that he needs for financials.
Oh,
first.
interesting.
So I don't ever look at it in a way as like, why not me? I think of it as like, I already have what I need. And if I need more, then God will provide that.
Oh, wow. That's a great
Yeah.
insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So stop being jealous, you fuck. I was kidding.
I'm trying, dude. It's so funny that you give this beautiful analogy of like my time and then God. Then you're like, fucking idiot. Ha ha. I'm like, can I even cuss on this podcast? No, I believe that. And I hear somebody say it and I go, yeah. It's what happens is these thoughts just bubble up in my head and then I talk it out or I work out or I do something or I like look at my ticket sales and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm doing fine. Or I remember when I sold 150 in San Diego and I go, dude, I've actually grown a lot since then. So it's just moments like that. It's just like sometimes if I don't like there's a day where I'm like tired or fatigued and these thoughts just like bubble up like doo, 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 doo. And I'm like, well, what am I doing to take care of myself? Have I worked out? Have I gone on a fucking walk? When was the last time I left my house? Type of stuff. Like that type of
Do
stuff.
you go outside a lot?
I'm pretty pale, so no.
I go outside. I've been doing this for like 6 months now. It's significantly different than my
That's the
mood.
funniest like clip of just being like, yo, I've been going outside lately.
Get outside.
This sounds like some pandemic advice, you know? But yeah, no, I try to go on like walks and shit. in
Go
my
ride a
neighborhood.
bike.
Ride a bike?
Go ride a bike. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. I even got I got an electric bike. I got another Super 73 coming in. Like, bro, I'm always outside. I take my
Oh, dude.
meetings on my bikes.
Really?
Yeah.
How the fuck does that work?
Likes to
Well,
go
I
in
put
the
my
neighborhood.
headphones in, my AirPods, or like
And
my
you're just on a meeting getting honked at?
He
no,
just
just
goes
around the
up and
neighborhood,
hits it.
and I'll have the camera facing me, so they'll see me while I'm riding my bike, and it's
Bro,
always a
I'm
conversation.
if I was an executive and my client's on a bike, you think I'm gonna trust him with $500,000 to produce a show? This man's on a bird scooter.
No, honestly,
I'm kidding with you, man,
it's
but-
definitely something new, but there's so much that came out of it. For example, I know it sounds stupid, but every single person in the neighborhood, I know them now. Because I go out for 5 hours a day that I know every single neighbor. I know their name. I know where they work. And then I
know where they
realize
live.
I know where I definitely know
when
where
they're
they live.
gone, how to get in their house.
I do all of these.
No, dude, every time I work out, every time I take a lap around the block, I go, I feel better. Why don't I do this? I know that I'll feel better after I work out or do anything, but instead I'm like, let me just get this edit. Let me just get this email, you know?
Yeah, it's the getting to do it.
That's the biggest thing that like my therapist told me is like, you treat it like a chore when you have to treat it like that's part of work. And I was like, oh, because my head, I only care about work. Capricorn's sick. But fucking, yeah. But he's like,
But our work is fun.
Right, of course.
What a blessing.
But it is. And that's why because I used to have a desk job that I didn't like, and I couldn't wait to get off to go do stand-up or make videos. But now that is my work, I have to find a way to create balance in that. I love what I do.
Me and you have the same mind.
You
man.
know? Capricorns.
You have to give yourself a time to rest, and if you rest, you feel like you're not doing enough.
100%. Dude, that's why like I would go on like vacations with my ex. God, I miss her. No, but dude, like I would be sitting by the pool and I should be enjoying it. And I'm just fucking like shaking. I'm like, it's too quiet. I gotta be doing something. What are we doing?
Yep.
You know,
because you feel like everything's gonna be taken away from you.
Yeah.
Somebody else is gonna take it because they're working right
right. But what happens is you have this like weird, like I gotta be doing something, and then you finally ease into vacation mode, and then you rest, and then ideas come to you, and you're like, fucking, why didn't I rest before?
now. Yep.
Yeah.
Rest is huge, bro.
Rest is a
huge.
part of the process. It's a part of the creative process nobody factors in.
Yep. And even when you do bodybuilding, the most important part is sleeping, resting.
Do you
for
call it
growth.
working out or bodybuilding?
Did I say bodybuilding?
You said
yeah, you said
bodybuilding.
body.
I was like, are
you know when you do bodybuilding?
You know, Gold's Gym. When you're taking a little bit of D-ball every morning, getting jacked up.
What was your desk job?
That's dumb.
Desk.
What's the
what
desk
was,
job?
And action.
And
what
we're
was your
back.
desk
What's your
job?
desk job?
My desk job was I used to work at the Groundlings as doing that office, and then I was an intern
Oh,
there.
really?
And then also there was a YouTube channel called All Def Digital. You know them?
All Def
Digital. It was run by Russell Simmons. So he did Def Jam comedy back in the day. So he had like a new age one that was like 2013 to like 20. I think it's still going on. But
So
like
always in the
prime-
comedy realm.
Yes. So they did music and comedy, and then I was just a PA. Then I was an intern. Then I was a social media intern. And then that's the YouTube up there. You can see me in the top left
Let's
corner.
go, Jessica, bro.
Yeah, you already know. So they did a bunch of. They used to do a bunch of sketch comedy. Yeah, right there. So they used to do a bunch of sketch comedy, and
You're on the.
Yeah.
You're
So-
literally the only white man on there.
yeah.
You're the Jim Carrey.
That's what they would say. They would say I was Jim Carrey of Living in Color.
Yeah.
But dude, so many like Tony Baker's in there, to hear more, Kev on Stage. All these guys are like some of the funniest guys that I got to work with every day, and they were touring comedians. So they would go out and do the road on the weekends, and then come back to work. They would fly back Monday morning, they go to work, and I was just fascinated. So I was always trying to just understand how they would do it. And then they started putting me in sketches. They'd be like, all right, you have one line here. Oh, now you have two lines. Oh, now you're kind of a regular. And so I kind of just waited my turn and slowly
good for
like
you.
kind of just proved myself. And I was doing open mics after work. And then eventually like the comment section was funny. It's like, oh, who's that white boy? Oh, white boy's kind of funny. Oh shit, Trevor's in this one. Yo, I love Trevor Wallace. So the evolution of like
Right.
getting used to a channel, and that's kind of how I think Hollywood works, where it's like you might get booked for like a small role. It's like Seth Rogen in Anchorman was, I think about this all the time. He was a cameraman for like half a second. There's a cat talent show, and it's Seth Rogen.
What was he big during that or no?
I don't really know.
Seth Rogen was on a TV show.
He was on Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, he was a writer on that.
Yeah, but Anchorman is such an iconic movie, and then he's in it for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You plant these little seeds, and you just slowly get in, and then it's not even about the role he had on there. It's maybe a director goes, dude, this guy was so funny on set. He was so easy to work with, and then he's just kind of like one line here. Now you're doing 5 lines, then you're like you just kind of submerge yourself in. So that's just kind of how I was with stand up and trying to do that with traditional stuff, but. I think what I do now is like exactly what I hate the question, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, I'm doing everything I wanted to do now. So
Yeah.
how do I just elevate this, keep it growing, keep changing, move with times, you know?
I love that.
Do you have any hobbies?
No, I got to figure that out.
Yeah.
I got to ride bikes or something.
Dude, ride your bikes and all of a sudden you know every neighbor.
Yeah. My neighbors are old. Yeah. I don't know. I do want more hobbies. I honestly think, and this is, I don't know, like weekends I'll just like sleep in and then make breakfast at like 2 p.m. and I'll go to the gym, bodybuilding, and then I'll write a little or edit some, and then it's like time for shows. But like that's me filling a void in my life, being like, oh, I should, like, if I had a girlfriend, I would hang out with her in this time. If I had a family, I'd hang out with them at this time. But now I'm just like, oh, it's Saturday. What should I, like, I'm kind of just like filling time.
Yeah. You're like going through the motion. Like, I have time off right now. But
What's your
Right.
process with writing? So I know you do. You post heavy amount of skits.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing. I remember when I did internet skit. That's all fucking job, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's a
so-
big job, and a lot of people don't appreciate what goes into it.
No.
I'll do it for you. This man is sitting for hours writing, hours shooting, hours directing, hours editing. Where do you find the time to write material for stages and actually go out? Do you even have time for your family and friends? Do you, like, I know you keep making jokes about it, but is it something that's like affecting your life?
Yeah, definitely. But my parents live like an hour from me, so I try to see them a lot because they're just like, if I do have free time, it's like meeting with them for dinner is like more beneficial than really anything, you know.
Yep.
And then I think it's it's just kind of broken up. Like daytime is all video production and everything, and then as it hits like 5 or 6, then my brain switches over to like the stand up side, and then I'll try to work out real quick or I'll do something.
How do you do that? How do you like write with like stand up? Like, do you sit down and you're like, okay, these are what I want to work on, or do you get inspired by things?
Both. My notes app is just filled with like either a paragraph or like 2 words, and a lot of times when I get an idea that I think is like funny, I'll be like, all right, is this more of a visual thing for a video or is this more of a stage thing? Personal experiences tend to be more stage.
Yeah.
Observational stuff tends to be more video.
Do they ever overlap?
Yeah. I've turned videos into stand-up, and I've turned stand-up also into, I think I'm trying to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something started as stand-up, now as a video, and then something was a video that I like will pull inspiration for stand-up.
I love that.
But yeah, it is interesting because my brain switches. I honestly think I write the most stand-up in the car in between going to gigs, because like that's like the best thing is when you have like a show at 8 and a show at like 10. You get off stage at 8, your brain is still, you got that little bit of the endorphins, you're still like kind of on that little buzz, and then you're like, oh, what worked here? And you listen to that, and you're like, you know that like Zach Galifianakis like gif or that meme where it's like all the numbers are coming to his head. It feels like that. That's when you're like the most, because you're in it. But it does take a little bit to switch in.
Now, when you mean 8 to 10, do you mean you do an 8 o'clock show?
Yeah,
and
like
then
like Laugh Factory. If it's like, oh, I have an 8 o'clock set at Laugh Factory, and then improv at 10. You have like that time off, and you're usually by yourself. If you like, I'm gonna go get something to eat, then you're just by yourself. You're in and out drive through, being like, oh, what worked here? What worked? And I record all my sets, the audio, so I can listen to it back and be like, oh, I said 2 words different. That got a better reaction than usual.
Yeah. You can like reflect.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm taking all of these notes to help further my career. So
Yeah,
thank
and I
you for
don't
that.
think I have everything figured out, but this just happens to be what works for me. But I mean, it is tough because there's people out there, there's stand-ups out there who just like only do stand-up. So they're spending their daytime writing, and I'm writing videos and editing videos. So it's like I have to also make sure that when I'm putting in the time to write stand-up, it's like I'm competing with people who spend all day writing.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of juggling the videos, the podcast, and stand-up.
Have you ever thought about getting a writer to assist? Because I thought about this the other day. I want to write all of my jokes because it's my point of view on life.
Right.
But I don't think there should be any shame for a stand-up comedian to get a writer.
I think
I know Kevin Hart's opened about it. He has like,
yeah, I mean,
writers.
well, that dude, like he's every minute is scheduled of his day.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think it's a.
I think if I were
It's
to,
kind of like an artist when they're performing material. So it's like,
of course. I mean, if I were to do it, it would be, I would want somebody who could kind of like, maybe like it's a guy who opens for me and he watches my set and goes, oh, dude, you know what you should talk about? Or like, you said this whole thing about Walgreens. You know what else you got to think about Walgreens? Like they could just
Yeah.
Tweak it.
tag it. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
just give me different perspectives. But I think
Yeah.
if it's fully written in somebody else's voice, it might be like weird and you're not like passionate about it. If anything, I would pitch them ideas and we just kind of like write it together. But it's not like somebody just comes and be like, here's 15 minutes for you to memorize and learn. Like that to me is too weird and not authentic, and the crowd can tell.
Yeah.
100%. There was one thing that I did once that I swear it shaved off a year of work. A year of work.
Went outside.
I went outside on my bike. No, I would record each set of mine, and when Joe was ever free, he would have me come to his house, and I would show him
Yeah.
my stand-up.
Yeah.
And he would, with a remote, he would pause every 2 seconds. He goes, I know that didn't happen. I know this person doesn't have this
Yeah.
accent. I know
Yeah.
that. And so he would rip through my bullshit. And he goes, if I could tell immediately, so could your front row, so could your back row.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have to be telling you, but the more real it is, the better it is for everyone.
Of course. And I think that's why I wouldn't want a writer. I would
Because
want
it's
somebody.
not-
I would
yeah.
want somebody who could ask more questions. I think.
So that's what I was saying. It's kind of like a coach and the team when they watch back a game.
Yeah. Well, it's like my therapist. I would always look for answers, but he would just ask questions to get me to the right place. No,
I
it'd be
love
like,
that.
why don't I have love? Why don't I have a partner in this? And he goes, Well, and then what are you doing to do this? Where have you been looking? Where have you been? And then those questions help you
Spin
find the
your mind.
answers.
I
So I
love
wouldn't
that.
want a writer. I would just want somebody to be like, well, have you thought about maybe the cashier's perspective from Walgreens and not just your, like somebody just kind of poke holes in where I'm at.
Genius. Yeah, that is a coach. It's like it's somebody who
I wouldn't
help you work out your
right,
own.
I wouldn't
got
want
it.
somebody to give me the answers, but just somebody who could like kind of be on the side. But yeah, I mean, dude, watching back stand up, it's like that's pretty much what I'm starting to go through because I'm filming a special in July, and you're just watching it, and you're like, oh, I should have done that. I should have done this. I should have. But then you go, oh, I forgot I even did that, and then you write it down. A lot of times, there's so much going on. You do a brand new like. You just say a thing randomly 10 minutes into your set, and then you get off stage and you're hungry, you're doing meet and greet. So much happens that you forget about that, and then you watch it back. You're like, dude, oh my god, why haven't I been doing this whole time?
That was a good joke. Yeah.
It's just watching film. It's just watching football back. It's the same thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're still getting better, or do you feel like you're just polishing up?
I think both. I think, I mean, with stand-up, it's like, dude, you're never done.
Because
Like,
you're just growing.
You're just growing, or you're always just changing. You're just always adding more to it. It's never fully done, I think.
Have you ever thought about, because right now you are a name. People know who you are. You have an audience. You have a very strong audience. You have the stage presence, and you have the performance aspect of it. Have you ever thought about taking the time to put your skits away? Because you could always come back to it and write a movie and star in your own movie. Because I feel like you are a Seth Rogen. You are these people that could go and do these movies. You are Jim Carrey, where he's in Live and Living Color. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. But I think what happened to me and a lot of social media people is that we need that instant gratification to make sure that we're still relevant. We can still sell the tickets. We can still do this. That it limits us from the growth of where we could take it next.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that, but like to what you said, like, yeah, I just think I've seen people go away from their audience and try to come back, and it doesn't
work.
It doesn't work. So you're essentially betting on yourself to be like, I'm funny enough and talented enough to sell this movie. And if it goes, then your audience is like, fuck yeah, this is great. But if it doesn't, then you go back to your audience like, remember me? It's mukbang time. And they're like, no, man.
No.
So I don't know. I would love a hybrid where I'm never leaving my audience in the dark, because again, they're the people who got you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not leaving them in the dark. It's just you
It's the
creating.
second time you've hit yourself with a mic. It's you said not leaving them in the dark, but I do wonder about that.
I love you so much.
Whatever. But I mean, I think too, like can be a time where, let's say, like you are writing yourself a movie. Maybe it would just be like you're giving your audience different content. Like you're bringing them along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Well, that's what's nice about like something as simple as like Instagram stories. You can still be with your audience, but to your point, I always view myself, and this is not healthy, as however the last video did. That's how society sees me.
And sadly, it's true. But
but it's not healthy.
It's not healthy, but it's how it really works.
But
you are a slave to the algorithm, and it's not just you; it's anybody who's in your position of being a social media star. So this is I thought about this to do this with my team, and so I'll throw this idea out for you if you want to do it. But there's other writers that write like scripts all the time that don't get picked up. And they don't get picked up because they're almost great, right? They're just not great, but they're almost great. And so have you ever thought about like because you have a camera guy. Have you ever hired writers that you like their voices, punch up a script for a movie, then at the end you come in and you make it Trevor. So you go in there and it's like a week work instead of a year of writing a movie. So then you could stack your content and then shoot the movie for 2 months, and then once a year you could release a bigger project, still keep your audience in the light, and now you are taking your career to the movie screens.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I mean, where I'm at right now, I've just been we're just upping the production value, and we're just doing like kind of bigger videos and really putting more thought and planning into the pre-production. And because that's something I do think is like, if you don't grow with your channel and you don't like change ways to elevate it or switch it up, like it gets stagnant. It's, makes sense. It's like McDonald's. They bring the McRib back. They know what the fuck they're doing. Every once in a while, you got to just be like, it's Shamrocks. Just throw a haymaker in there,
I love that.
So I'm doing that. Like that's the goal. Then we're filming the special. And then, so like once like, and then in a couple months, I'll look back and be like, okay, how did that work? Did the special sell more tickets? Oh, I did it with this person. And am I getting more auditions because of that? So it's like, I go like 3 months at a time. But I do want to
I just
pitch
see
a show.
I
or
just see
get-
you being bigger than auditioning, dude. And it's just me just
Dude,
being
fucking
really
tell Hollywood. It's crazy that I have to audition in a fucking hotel room in Des Moines, Iowa, when I'm just like setting up a camera in a goddamn hotel room. Like, my name is Trevor. I'm like, just fucking.
They don't even want to see you in the room anymore. I have a bone to pick
Sucks.
with auditions, but Belle doesn't want me to open up about it because she's an actress. But
Yeah,
I
I
just
mean,
I don't
it's-
think you should be waiting. I think you have a. I think
Well, that's why I just kind of just always dig what I'm doing the best. And I also think it's like, I don't want to neglect my audience because a lot of times you have no control in the traditional side of thing when it's coming out. If it's coming out, I did a thing for MTV years ago and it never came out. And I was like, well, fucking now what, you know?
Yeah.
So I just love the control of like, if I shoot this and it's not going out, it's on my decision. It's not like some executive walks in my house and he's like, this sketch can't go out.
Yeah.
So I love the communication between me and my audience, but I do think after I filmed this special and, then I go, cool, did this get any attraction in the traditional world? Maybe now I don't have to audition. Maybe I do, but it comes in with a favor. They're like, hey, audition just to do it, just so we can see it. Like, I'm very open to it. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Sure, it's annoying when you're like, I have to fucking audition for 2 lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
just do it.
It's not an ego thing. I'm waiting for the day where, like, you know how like all these comedians, they join together for podcasts
Yeah.
and it crushes because the audience loves all these funny people together.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't wrap my head around that they're all waiting for all these other people to tell them when to be on set when these are the people that watch you guys.
Of course.
So I don't understand why none of these comedians are like, hey, okay, this once a week, we're all going to get together and we're going to write something all together and we're going to put out this skit show or like this new show that's going to have parts to it. Or
People kind of do that. You know, Shane Gillis, he did that with kind of he's a Philadelphia guy, comic. He did that with all of his Philly friends. They did a sketch show and it shot like full cinematic and it was really good.
what was it called?
Gillian Keeves?
I'll check it out.
It's very funny, but that's like kind of like to their point. It's like you do it and then
And it could be an improv thing because I know that's your strength. So like, it's not even that you're not even writing it anymore. Now you're just having a concept and you just get in there and have fun. And dude,
I agree. Yeah,
so if I ever do it, I'll call you
please.
and then we'll do it together.
I'm down, dude. Yeah, I mean, what happens is that you get this really funny idea with all these funny, talented people, and you have 5 funny people, and then you bring it to the network, and the network's like, cool, 5 dudes.
But
I
that's what
think
I'm
that
saying.
there's so
Fuck
many-
the network. No,
But there's so many
just
politics
do it on
that
their
go
own?
into.
yeah, do it on your own. Screw the network. Even if it doesn't get millions
Right.
of views, put it.
But that's what these guys did. Yeah.
Yeah, put it behind our YouTube and just get the audience, and then you could sell that.
Well, that's kind of
because it
the-
is business, right? So the network is going to see if it does well. If it does well online, then you have a better negotiation.
Yeah, I mean, if you have proof, that's the easiest way to sell something. You go,
Exactly.
I did a show with my friends. Each episode did this, and then they watch it and they go, oh shit. Because
Yeah.
now they're watching it. Because sometimes when they watch something with no views, they have nothing to gauge it off of. They're like, do people like this? Are people gonna not like this?
Right.
But if you play a song with no background and you go, how do you like? And they go, oh, that's cool. But you go, this song has 1 billion views. You're gonna be like, oh shit. Like, that pretense is gonna help sell it.
Yeah.
So
It's like there was a show. I mean, it's like season was on YouTube.
Oh,
and
I know who
then
this guy is,
Season
yeah.
2, I think Netflix then bought it. It was like, oh, let's make it into a
yeah, I
series
mean,
for
it's
season 2,
it's
you know?
like Jimmy Tatro, Real Bros of Simi Valley.
Yes.
Started
Yes.
on
Great example.
YouTube,
Great
and then
example.
somebody goes, dude, why haven't we had this? But had he just pitched a show, and maybe he did, and then we're like, well, and then you just shoot it, and you're like, listen, I know it's, so that's something I would do. I go, listen, I know this is funny. I'm going to shoot this thing. It'll be on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And then, YouTube is like SoundCloud. It's like you put it out there to get discovered, and then a network goes, we like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And also, bro, everything's online now. Everybody's
Right.
watching on their phone. So who's to say that you can't just put it behind your own like fucking website? You put it on YouTube and you're like, hey guys, like season 1 was for you guys. If you guys like it, come watch it
Yeah.
here. Download, make an app. Like I'm in my brain right now thinking like I'm done waiting to get the green light from
Of
people.
course, yeah, of course. I mean, you've been doing entertainment for quite some time, so it's kind of like you see, when I moved to this town, I just wanted to try everything. I think it wouldn't be an LA experience if I didn't audition, if I didn't sell a show, if I didn't try to at least do this. And then you do 100 things and you realize what you really like. It's like, oh, I like podcasting, stand up, and making videos. That's really it. So anything that's not that, I'm like, well, I tried it before.
How is your podcast? Like, what's your setting for that? Do you shoot ahead or?
We usually try to shoot just like, it comes out Wednesdays. It's called Stiff Socks. Comes out, we usually record Mondays and it'll come out like Wednesday. It's pretty.
Did you say stiff stock?
Stiff Socks?
I love that.
It's
How'd
not
you come
what
up
it
with the
sounds like.
name?
I'll tell you.
Babe, you don't get the reference?
No. Am I missing a reference? Is this a dirty reference? Stiff socks. Okay.
$10. You just, that was fake.
Yeah, what do you
is it?
what do you
is
think it
What do you
is?
think
Like-
it
This
is?
is fun.
Like you jerked off in your sock.
Okay.
It's so
What?
stiff.
You might have gotten
So
it.
it's stiff now?
What did you just
Like
say?
it
Wait, what
dry,
did you
like
say?
it dried it.
You think I'm just jerking off in his socks?
Yeah, and then whatever.
No, it's a sports podcast. You know when you like work out at the gym, the sweat, you bodybuild, the sock gets hard.
Your socks get. Are you serious? You think you
thought it was
Yeah,
a
I don't know. Is it a dirty reference? Guys, I don't know the reference. I'm
No.
just
No,
guessing there.
you thought people jerk off into their socks?
I'm a Christian man.
Are you messing with me? And that is did I get it right?
Yeah, I'm messing with you. It's all
You guys are such wankers, bro. Like,
Yeah, we
come
are,
on.
literally.
That's why it's called stiff socks.
Hey, plug it. Yeah. Why is one of the search does Trevor Wallace have a sister? What the fuck? How much money does Trevor Wallace make? Does he have a sister? Is he in a movie?
Do you have a sister?
I do, but it's not who the internet says it is. What?
Who do they say it is?
Son of Don Wallace. Click that again. Don Wallace and Maria Page. Nope. Has a brother Ethan? Nope, not true.
Wait, really?
No.
They said my name was Susan when George.
Really?
Look up George.
Dude, anybody can put anything on the internet. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Every time I Google my own name, it says I'm from a different state. Florida? No.
They always get. I have like my ethnicity is almost right, and then it is right. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, but our podcast is just another comedian, Michael Blaustein and I, and we just kind of just riff kind of back and forth. There's no like tone. It's just like, just fun.
How long have you been doing it?
Like 4 years.
Do you like it?
Love it. It's great, man. I mean, it's honestly just like it's like something I look forward to. I think it's fun. We didn't start out as a guest podcast, but we're having more and more guests. So I'd love to have you guys on. But it's like fun. It's so much of the work week is like email, edit, write, shoot, and then you're just sitting down talking for an hour. It's fun because I genuinely enjoy the people that I do it with.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing really, really well, dude. Like I've been
Thanks,
watching
man.
you from afar, and I always tell Enrique about you.
Yeah.
I'm a fan and a friend, but mostly a fan. I love what you're doing.
Nice. Thank you.
I love watching you on stage. Whenever you're performing, I'll come out of the back room just
Really?
to watch you. Yeah,
Damn.
you're excellent, dude. I'm telling anybody who's watching this podcast, please go watch Trevor Wallace. Do you have a tour right now?
Yeah, I got tour dates to warm up for this special. So I got San Jose coming up, Connecticut, San Diego, Long Beach, Los Angeles. I'm missing one. Tempe.
Tempe. When's Tempe?
July 6th to the 8th.
I'll come.
Amazing.
I'll come and
Yeah,
watch it live.
come by. It'll be fun, man. I'll get you. If you want to do some time, do it.
I'll come. I'll do it.
You do some time on that?
I'll open up for you.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it.
I'll bomb so that way like I'll fuck your whole crowd up.
No. But yeah, then we're filming the special in Austin. Tickets are on sale now. First show sold out. We just had a second show, and that's all TrevorWallaceComedy.com, and that is July 15th. That's all I really wanted to plug.
Amazing.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm keeping the
you so
mason
much.
jars.
Let's
Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It was a great time.
Thank you.
Cool.